What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. No, you're not dreaming. It's 2 videos in one day. This is your daily market update that you'll see almost every day that we post here on the channel, giving you the breakdown of everything that's going on in the crypto world. Now, before we get started, remember, nothing that I say is financial advice. Always do your own research. And also, if I can ask you just to click like and subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification so you know when a video goes live. And also, for all of those new members who are new to crypto, I do have another series that I've made available for everybody called Becoming a Crypto Guru. Go check it out. It's everything that you need to know about this crypto world, and join us in becoming a crypto guru yourself. Right, now that we've got some of the boring stuff out the way, let's look at our daily market update. You can see we've got this big green bubble over here, Lunar Classic. There has been some pretty good news around that. We'll talk about that right at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But overall, pretty mixed day. We've got Ethereum proof of work also down a fair amount. Not as worth as much as Ethereum itself, so it's still sort of finding its price range. Overall, a pretty balanced and average market. You can see Bitcoin's up about 1.5%, so within the range of what we've been seeing, and basically Bitcoin being boring. If we have a look at our overall markets, you can see here we are still under the $1 trillion mark. Not great to see. We really want to see it over that $1 trillion mark, pushing up higher. But again, Bitcoin is going to be flat for a very long time. So this is what we're going to see between 900 billion to just over $1 trillion is probably to be expected for a very long time. And we have been talking about that. You can see here, pretty flat, not even a full percent up on the day. If we look at Bitcoin itself, it's had a nice little pump here today, up about 2.5%. We can see on this chart 19,000. But again, zooming out, we can see we've been talking about this. There's not much to say about Bitcoin other than that it's in its range. It's not going to be going anywhere for a very long time. Now on to some actual news. We have spoken about Kwon previously in other videos. What we have heard now is that Interpol itself has issued a worldwide arrest warrant for the Terra finder Kwon. Now, this is something that's very interesting, not something we were expecting to see, but Kwon himself probably does have some questions to answer when it does come to how Terra Luna and the UST coins crashed in May this year. And what we have seen basically is that there's a red notice that's been issued for his arrest. That he has sort of been avoiding his jail time. So it still seems to be, it's still to be seen whether he will be caught or not, brought in for questioning if any charges will ever be put against him. But I think this is a step forward. He probably does have a few questions to answer, so keep your eyes peeled on this one. Now we're going to be talking about another coin that we haven't actually spoken about at all on this channel. It's a coin called VeChain. I'm sure there are some of you out there who have heard about VeChain. They're very much into the supply chain and helping using Web3 technology and blockchain technology to move the supply chain along. They've actually signed an agreement with a company called TrueTrace. Now, TrueTrace are a software as a service firm, and they're going to be offering the platform to onboard legal cannabis, food, apparel, and pharmaceutical industries, which will make use of the VeChain technology and the Web3 technology to boost themselves and to make themselves more efficient and future-proof themselves for when this whole crypto world and blockchain world actually becomes just a normal day, regular thing. So it's very, very good to see, very bullish to see. VeChain itself, I do think, is a coin for the future. Not something that I hold, but I do keep a very close eye on it. If we're moving along, we have been speaking about Algorand recently and the fact that they've joined up with FIFA to promote their NFTs. Well, here it is right here. What we can actually see is this is one of the very first NFTs that have been purchased from using the Algorand technology and chain. And this is actually a goal scored by a football player called Cristiano Ronaldo. And this person right here actually owns the right to this clip, basically. And the digital format and everything that comes with it is his, and he can now proudly say that he owns a piece of football history, basically. And he basically says here, one of Cristiano's best goals in World Cups, truly epic. Now I'm going to own this moment forever on the Algorand blockchain. Again, another use for cryptocurrencies. Really great to see. Bullish on Algorand as it is. and just another use case for anything cryptocurrency related, which I'm very excited and very happy to see. Moving on to CBDCs, we have another announcement by the Australian Central Bank, where they've released a white paper detailing their project plan for the Australian digital dollar. One of the most important and interesting things about this is the person who's going to be running the project. His name is Dilip Rao. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm very bad at names. He is a former Ripple executive. Now, if anybody who has been watching this channel quite a bit, or all of you XRP experts out there will know that XRP has been involved with quite a few CBDC discussions recently. We've seen XRP in the news with this. We've spoken about it on the channel, where CBDC adoption is coming from various countries, and Ripple is probably one of the front runners, along with your other tokens like HBAR, like Algorand, who will be involved with all these CBDC projects. And the fact that we've got a former Ripple executive running the project probably puts XRP in a very good stead to help take this project across the line and becoming the settlement token for this Australian CBDC once it is actually live. So something to keep our eye on here as well. This won't be the last update on that. We will definitely be talking about that in the future on this channel. Now, we're going to be talking a little bit about what our expectations are for the bull market and when we're expecting this next bull run to happen. The latest one is an analyst who nailed the end of the previous bull market pretty much a year ago. If we have a look at the chart over here, we can actually see when it really started. And if we go all the way back to September last year, we have a look, there's July. Sorry, we're just going to keep zooming out so we can see. Here's our all-time high here. So it was actually November. So more or less now, we pretty much hit that peak, and you can see October. And this is where we saw our big bull run over here. So he pretty much called the top over here in November last year. And he's made a very bold prediction of what might kick off the next bull run. Obviously, we're all looking for these indicators. We all want to know when you're going to get rich. Let's hope so. Remember, stack your bags. None of this that I say is financial advice, but always have a look at interesting projects. Okay, so basically what he said is he kept his entire macro bearish thesis all the way until Bitcoin took out the lows in September, which obviously we're having a look now, at which point switched to more neutral and looking to bid value. So obviously that's where we are in this phase now. Consumer price index is also potentially at max velocity as well. It's just hard for me to keep such a strong bearish bias for now. So he goes on to say that he thinks that Bitcoin possibly, worst case scenario, could be hitting $12,000 to $14,000. Personally, I don't see that. I do think we have seen the bottom of Bitcoin. And then at 18,700 now, obviously where we are, that's near the lows that we saw in June. Don't expect a bull market anytime soon, which is what we have been saying on this channel. More of a true sideways market to come, like below. So what he's saying here is that we are going to be moving sideways. And it is something that we've been talking about on this channel anyway. We can see if we look from sort of July till now, it's really been sideways. There hasn't been anything. So his predictions are right. What we might see in the future is something like an XRP that the court case gets settled, or something like Lunar Classic actually goes up, and that's what sort of kicks the bull market off. But the global trends are not looking good for Bitcoin, for the crypto market as a whole. And as we know, Bitcoin is the leader, and Bitcoin is going to drive the bull market for the rest of the cryptocurrencies. Right, now on to some interesting news about Helium. We have spoken quite a bit about Helium. It is a project that I do like, but I did see this in Forbes this morning. And the crypto darling Helium promised a people's network, but instead executives got rich. Now what this article goes on to describe is that the executives and the friends of the executives actually benefited a lot more than other people who bought into the project early on, and even now are not seeing the gains that some of these people have seen. A review of hundreds of leaked internal documents, transaction data, and interviews with 5 former Helium employees suggests that as Helium insiders touted the democratized spirit of their people's network, they quietly amassed the majority of the tokens earned at the project's start, hoarding much of the wealth generated in its earliest and most lucrative days. Forbes identified 30 digital wallets that appear to be connected to Helium employees, their friends, family, and early investors. This group of wallets mined 3.5 million Helium or HNT, almost half of them minted within the first 3 months of the network's launch in August 2019, According to a Forbes analyst that was confirmed by blockchain forensic firm Certic, within 6 months, more than a quarter of the HNT had been mined by insiders, valued at roughly $250 million when the price of helium peaked last year. Even currently now, it's still worth about $21 million, which is very interesting to see. We obviously see it's got a tenth of its value. The whole market is down. But it's pretty upsetting to see that possibly helium isn't as good as everybody makes it out to be. Whether this is true or not, I do think that there might be some FUD around this and they might be trying to bring helium down. But again, as I always say, watch the space. We're going to see how this pans out over the next few days. Now, I did promise all of you some Lunar Classic news, and I will not disappoint. Earlier on today, Lunar Classic had some very, very bullish news from Binance itself, who said that they will not necessarily be implementing the 1.2% tax burn that has been proposed by the Lunar Classic community, and the proposal actually passed. But Binance will be burning all trading fees related to margin and spot trades on Lunar Classic. We obviously do know that there is a massive supply of Luna out there, 6.9 trillion, maybe just underneath that mark, but a huge amount of coins, and we do need to burn that supply down for anybody who is a Lunar Classic holder and is expecting this coin and hoping that the coin will be back to where it was in the top 10. Binance move comes after a very disappointing weekend where on Friday they announced that they would not be supporting it. Kwon did tank this, and CZ initially said that they possibly would be supporting off-chain burns. It didn't necessarily happen. Now CZ, the CFO of Binance, has come forward and said that they've changed their mind. They've listened to the Lunar Classic community and they will be supporting these burns. Really good to see how it pans out with the rest of the exchanges who do hold Lunar Classic, guys like Gate.io and KuCoin, two of the other big players when it comes to volume from Lunar Classic. If they implement any sort of burn, I do feel that they're going to have to do something to match what Binance has done. And we will probably see the volume pick up in the next few days when it comes to Lunar Classic, and we'll probably see burns coming and the actual supply dipping. Who knows where the price will be? I do think the coin can get back to $1, maybe within a year's time, more than likely 18 months to 2 years. But anything can happen. If this starts to pick up during the next bull run, we could see an overprice of Lunar Classic to even up to $5 and then pulling all the way back down to $1. So definitely one that we will still be watching on this. And as a cryptocurrency, we do want to see it doing well, because remember, a failure for one crypto is a failure for everybody in this community because it is so new. So when there's good news, we should all be celebrating it. Whether you are a Lunar Classic supporter or a Bitcoin maxi, this is great news. That is everything that I have time for you. Just want to remind you, watch the Crypto Guru series. I will put a link down below so you can find it. Otherwise, go visit the channel, like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.